Breaking news: US B-2 stealth bombers strike Iran's nuclear sites in undetected, devastating Operation Midnight Hammer. In a stunning display of military precision and technological supremacy, the United States has executed a covert airstrike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, leaving the Islamic Republic's nuclear ambitions in ruins. Dubbed Operation Midnight Hammer, the mission saw 7 U.S. Air Force B-2 Spirit stealth bombers fly an 18-hour, 7,000-mile journey from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri to deliver a crippling blow to Iran's Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan nuclear sites. The operation, shrouded in secrecy and executed without a single radar ping or Iranian countermeasure, marks the largest B-2 deployment in U.S. history and the first combat use of the 30,000-pound GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator (MOP), a bunker-busting bomb designed to obliterate deeply fortified targets. The B-2 Spirit, a bat-winged marvel of American engineering, is the world's most advanced and most expensive warplane, with each bomber carrying a $2.1 billion price tag. Built by Northrop Grumman, its stealth technology renders it virtually invisible to radar, allowing it to penetrate the most sophisticated air defenses undetected. Capable of carrying up to 40,000 pounds of ordnance, including 16 B-83 nuclear bombs or 2 GBU-57 MOPs. The B-2 is a cornerstone of America's nuclear triad and a symbol of its global reach. Its ability to fly over 6,000 miles without refueling, and virtually anywhere with mid-air tankers, makes it a weapon of unmatched strategic flexibility. During Operation Midnight Hammer, the B-2s dropped 14 GBU-57 MOPs, each packing the explosive power of 5,500 pounds of TNT and capable of penetrating up to 200 feet of earth or 60 feet of reinforced concrete. These bombs tore through Iran's heavily fortified underground facilities, reducing critical nuclear infrastructure to rubble. The mission's success hinged on the B-2's stealth capabilities, which allowed the bombers to enter Iranian airspace, strike their targets, and exit without a single shot fired in response. The operation's complexity was staggering. Supported by over 125 aircraft, including F-22 and F-35 fighter jets, reconnaissance planes, and KC-135 tankers, the B-2s executed a tightly choreographed maneuver across the Atlantic and Mediterranean. A U.S. submarine launched over 24 Tomahawk cruise missiles to neutralize Iranian air defenses, while decoy B-2s flew west toward Guam, drawing global attention away from the real strike force heading east. This deception, combined with 9 days of prior Israeli strikes that weakened Iran's military, ensured the U.S. maintained the element of surprise. The 37-hour round-trip mission tested the limits of human endurance. Each B-2, manned by a 2-person crew, required 6 to 7 mid-air refuelings, each lasting about 30 minutes. To sustain the pilots, the bombers are equipped with rare comforts for a warplane: a microwave, mini-fridge, toilet, and a space for one pilot to rest while the other flies. This logistical triumph underscored the B-2's unique ability to strike anywhere in the world from U.S. soil, a capability no other nation can match. Pentagon officials hailed the operation as a spectacular military success. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth declared no other country on planet Earth could have pulled off this operation, while Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane called it flawless, noting that Iran didn't detect the bombers and failed to launch a single countermeasure. Satellite imagery from Maxar Technologies revealed craters and ash at Fordow, with Rafael Mariano Grossi, head of the UN's nuclear watchdog, confirming very significant damage to the site. The strikes targeted Iran's most critical nuclear sites: Fordow, buried deep in a mountain near Qom; Natanz, a major uranium enrichment hub; and Isfahan, a key research facility. Initial assessments suggest severe damage, with U.S. officials claiming the attacks devastated Iran's nuclear program. The Fordow facility, long a concern for Western intelligence due to its fortified construction, was hit with multiple MOPs, likely disrupting its ability to enrich uranium for years. Natanz and Isfahan, already weakened by Israeli strikes, suffered further blows to their surface infrastructure and underground capabilities. For Iran, the destruction of these facilities represents a catastrophic setback. Decades of investment, scientific expertise, and clandestine efforts to build a nuclear arsenal have been obliterated in a single night. The psychological impact is equally profound. Iran's leadership, which has long touted its nuclear program as a symbol of national pride and defiance, now faces the reality of its vulnerability to U.S. military might. The operation's undetected nature exposes the inadequacy of Iran's air defenses, raising questions about its ability to protect its sovereignty against a technologically superior adversary. Operation Midnight Hammer sends a chilling message to Iran and the world. The United States can strike with impunity, anywhere, anytime. The operation, launched in support of Israel after weeks of escalating tensions, underscores Washington's unwavering commitment to preventing a nuclear-armed Iran, a policy shared by both the Trump administration and its predecessors. President Donald Trump, addressing the nation flanked by Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, called the strikes monumental and warned Iran against retaliation, hinting at far greater consequences. The attack's timing, days after Trump's public announcement that he would decide within 2 weeks whether to strike, suggests a deliberate strategy to mask U.S. intentions. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff's reports that Iran was not serious about a nuclear deal may have been the final trigger, prompting the administration to act decisively. The operation's secrecy, with even congressional leaders briefed only mid-mission, reflects the high stakes and sensitivity of the strike. For Iran, the question now is how, or if, it can respond. The Islamic Republic has vowed retaliation, but its options are limited. Its air defenses, already battered by Israeli strikes, proved ineffective against the B-2s. A direct military response risks further U.S. or Israeli escalation, potentially targeting Iran's oil infrastructure or military leadership. Asymmetric warfare, such as proxy attacks by groups like Hezbollah or cyber attacks, is more likely, but these carry their own risks of provoking a broader conflict. Iran's denial of significant damage and its pledge to rebuild its nuclear program signal defiance, but the reality of its weakened position cannot be ignored. The global ramifications of Operation Midnight Hammer are profound. Allies like Israel, which views Iran's nuclear program as an existential threat, will see the strikes as a vindication of U.S. resolve. Adversaries like Russia and China, which have their own advanced air defenses, will study the B-2's undetected penetration for vulnerabilities in their systems. The operation also raises questions about the future of nuclear non-proliferation, as Iran's setback may embolden other nations to pursue clandestine programs or seek stronger alliances to deter U.S. interventions. The B-2s return to Missouri, their mission complete. The world watches Iran's next move. The strikes have reshaped the Middle East strategic landscape, humiliated a defiant regime, and showcased the terrifying power of America's stealth arsenal. What comes next? Diplomacy, retaliation, or further escalation remains uncertain, but the echoes of Operation Midnight Hammer will reverberate for years to come.